What is up, fam? Certified Hood Classic here. Again, back with another banger in co-op adventures. Here I shall continue my praises of the best mode Genshin has to offer.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Holy shit!
In this instance, I've come across yet another traveler, starting fresh in the world of Genshin. Enjoying a cool, but slowly heating evening out here in the European region of the world. As per usual, we begin with relentlessly attacking and throwing goobas, until a conversation begins to take shape. If it were not for this phase, how can we even start the game? After a bunch of walking around and chilling at the edge of the pigeon scaring bridge, we finally started to move on to the big talk. What is your favorite boss? Without hesitation, my new friend took off into the unknown lands, never before seen by me, nor fought as indeed in this area. The boss enemies are absent. As we walk deeper into the forest, there it is. The monster that is causing trouble for all fresh Genshin players, Fatui, Pyro Agent. Now you might say, Metro, the Pyro Agent isn't a boss. And yes, you're right. But his invisibility and weird attacks from the back can be difficult to deal with, making him somewhat of a boss for the early levels. One of the beautiful parts of Genshin Co-op is visible right here. Just nuking down any monster, like cutting through butter with 10,000 degree heated red hot knife. I hope this gets the point across. It cost me nothing to help a brother out. As we've defeated the most powerful enemy my friend has brought me, we are now considering what adventure we could undertake next. Looking at the map, I can see that indeed we have an important piece of work undone, the daily commissions. Instead of doing them, my friend wants to look for boxes, but since I couldn't find any around, I offer to go as seek the completion in more direct and violent ways. Though my co-op duo is right, looking for boxes would indeed also allow to complete the commissions. Oftentimes these days, I just do a quest and finish the commissions with opening a box, so that I don't have to deal with any of the repetitive nature of this primo gem farmer. After doing only one commission, it turns out that we have to cut our session short. Which brings us to the next phase of the video, our co-op friend number 2. This one did start slow, as we just once again open with a whole bunch of goobas and Favonius lance attacks, as per protocol. After a whole lot of gang shit, we finally begin traveling across the lands. Language barrier can become a real issue at this phase. Whether it is Spanish in other regions or Russian in Europe, Google Translate always comes to rescue when trying to convey a message. What boss shall we do next? And this takes us to my favorite boss of all time, the Electro Hippopotamus. This boss is a common meme among new players, tending to sometimes become an over-farmed one, which I, too, have indulged at the start of this account. Now, given the severe difference in world level, as mentioned previously, we slice through the health of the hippopotamus like butter, and now the difficult phase begins. The only elemental damage application I have here, which can finish the boss, is my trusty old goobas. Gooba, get them. Using praises with Google Translate probably doesn't properly convey the message, but the emotes can always help. And now, as we move on to the Unemo Cube, and doing the same, we begin a deeper discussion. Our friend here is looking to hit adventure rank 25. However, we seem to be running on a high amount of resin available for boss reward redeeming. To explain that resin can be used to get a lot of XP, I decided to take translation another step higher. This time, I choose to take ChatGPT for a run in order to maximize the probability that the message will carry over. And it appears that it did really hit the mark. We are now setting a path forward to make sure all daily resin is used, and the path towards efficient reaching of AR25 is reached. We take our Blossom adventure to the domains 2, and right after the domain completion, we're now back in Mondstadt, where the classic finish line awaits us. The adventure rank, Lady unfortunately, wants nothing to do with us unless we leave the co-op world and go to solo. What a cruel world. This is the end of our journey with friend number 2. Now let's move on to a different type of co-op. This is how we've been enjoying the new event with my friends here, Ether, Serata, and Sergilio. Ever since the launch of this game mode, we've been spamming it, and over time some interesting strategies started to surface in our games. By far, I would say, this event game has been the best one I've got to play since I started Genshin Impact. Here is just one of many games that we played. First of all, I noticed that at the start of the game, the best and most effective strategy is just to hit the closest repair signaling device available. I am not sure if it's a smart option to do, but it has worked best for me as we are immediately applying pressure and progressing through the health bar of the device. This type of thing also optimizes, in my experience, the use of invisibility cooldown. The faster I get to use it, the more value it feels like I can use during the short game. Usually, the hunter will become visible in the mini-map very quickly, and it will be time to use the invisibility to escape. However, in this game, it somehow turned to be lucky, and all I needed to do is just run to another signaling device as we're together as a team are beginning to apply pressure towards winning the game. Now let's take an example where we do not get so lucky. If I do need to deal with the hunter directly, I found a strategy most effective in open fields where there is a lot of space to move around. All I do is run into one direction until the hunter is close, go invisible, and immediately change direction towards some random direction. This way, I am occasionally able to circle the hunter, provided there is enough space, in order to hide behind a wall or some other thing behind them and wait out the 30-second invisibility cooldown. I found that returning back to repairing is best at around 5 seconds remaining, and if they are really far away, maybe up to 10 seconds. This way I can try and repeat this trick. Speaking of tricks, Ether pointed out that apparently we can free our fellow rebel who are stuck after getting captured. I am not sure I've ever seen this interaction, but in the video recorded here, it does appear that I get released 3 seconds left until the end of the timer, which could be an interesting gameplay aspect to consider. And of course, finally, the game-winning drop, which is making it quite easy for hunters to end the game. The vision provided or an instant catch that the orb grants is indeed super powerful and therefore worthwhile to contest for rebels. I like to stay hidden when it is picked up and play the regular invisibility cooldown game until it is used. Once it is used and I am visible, I just all in for repair because why not? I am visible anyway. Once the chase begins with the hunter, I also try to run into open areas, and instead of trying to do invisibility circling, I try to do what is known as sidestepping. For example, the hunter may run directly at you and press catch. As they do this, if you change direction and dash backwards, it is more likely it will miss. This way wasting more time during this power spike, or potentially fully letting the duration expire and return to regular gameplay. That seems about it. It has been incredibly fun to explore this new mode. I am sure that there are far better strategies than these, but this is what I found effective so far.